first play of the game. Gets it to J.D. Edwards on the kickoff, looking like big bro KJ. He's going all the way back to the crib. Carthage opens up with a score in this one. Offense didn't even step out onto the field. Rusk regathered, and this was just about it for their offense in that first quarter. Malachi Overstreet turns it upfield for a nice little solid run, but that was pretty much it. Carthage didn't waste any time when they got the ball. Surratt hitting Edwards again on the screen. Gets some good blocks. Puts one in the end zone again. That's 2 for number 1. Keep it in mind. This is 4th and 12, by the way. 4th and 12. They went for it on like their own 30. Gets it to KJ Edwards. He didn't get 12 yards. He got like 40 yards. Set him up for this one in the end zone. Benny Smith powered his way through a few tackles. This one was all Carthage from the literal kickoff. Let's see that final score. There you go. Russ got on the board. Last time I checked, they weren't on the board. So 56-3, Carthage final takes this one.
How about J.D. Edwards? I was going to ask Coach about that. We always talk about KJ, but J.D. having a big night tonight. All right, let's head over to Eagle Stadium in Lindale, where things are getting spooky. Lindale band dressed up in their Halloween best as the Eagles host the Pine Tree Pirates tonight. A real fright night kind of first half. Lindale's David Lindig casts a pass spell to Reed Carnathan. He haunts the defense and gets close to the end zone before being taken down just short. Eagles summon Camden Lane for the field goal, and that's good for 3. Now the Pirates try to conjure some magic on the punt, but the ball bounces around like a ghost, and somehow Pine Tree brings it back from the dead. Jesus, lots of Halloween puns. I like it. Colton Croft hands it to Roger Adaway, sprints down the sideline like he's being chased by goblins before finally being caught. Pirates go for their own field goal. Julian Ibarra with the boot. It's good. Tied at 3. Second quarter now. Big first play of the night. Hank Thurman to the end zone takes it in for the Eagle touchdown.
Oh.
Wow, and that was a close one, but Lindale pulls it out 17-10 over Pine Tree.
And shout out to Pine Tree for dressing like mustard tonight. That was a great costume that they had on.
That was a good one.
Hey, let's go to West Rusk High School. Bison came out for the Buffalo game. They're rumbling down to take on the Raiders, of course.
Is that Shrek coming out of the tunnel?
Might have been. Might have been in their swamp. Turnovers are a problem for Buffalo early. How about this one? Cole Davis throws it right to the wrong team. This one's going galloping way back and sets up this one. Rusk was feeling good after that turnover. This one's Judson Dotson gets it to Hunter McCandles. Sweeps into the end zone. Raiders draw first blood of the night down in West Rusk later in the first quarter. Buffalo forced the punt in their own end zone. Raiders get it back. Short punt. Guess what? Falls right into the lap of Kamontre McGregor. He takes it all the way to the house. All 20 yards of that punt. 15-0 lead for West Rusk. Bison looking to get in this offense going. And here's Davis taking it out to do it himself. Kind of just tucks it in and just powers through every single West Rusk Raider before going down around midfield. How about that play? It would set up this Angel Moreno splitting the uprights, field goal. Bison get on the board. West Rusk. Oh, I finally did it. I finally did it. And there's Shrek. 15-3 lead for the Raiders going into the first quarter. Whoop.
Wow.
42-23. Looks like that lead grew and grew and grew. I'm trying to think of a Shrek pun. I can't think of it.
It's okay. Well, catch us
There's
later
layers
on for
to
some
the
Shrek
lead.
puns. There you go.
Layers.
That's pretty good. All right. Back in the Rose City, Tyler Legacy behind Forney 24-0 after the first quarter. Great field position to start the second, though, as Kason Gray finds Bo Slaughter along the far sideline for the first down. Then, right on the doorstep, Gray hands it off to the sophomore Akiri White, who pushes his way through the pile and surrenders himself to the end zone. Red Raiders get on the board. It is 24-6. But right after that, though, Legacy goes for 2. Gray slings it over to Slaughter. 2-point conversion is good. That makes it 24-8. Forney would punch back on the next drive, though. Quarterback Caleb Crest fakes the handoff, runs right, and then throws left to Amari Jahil. Coming across the middle, seniors got it for the first down and a little bit more. This time, Crest goes towards the far sideline where he's got Javian Osborne, who slips one tackle before getting forced out of bounds by just a horde of defenders. Finally, Jackrabbits looking to break through. Crest says, stand back. I got this one, boys. Moves to his left, finds the end zone untouched. Forney goes up 31-8 with 7 minutes till halftime. Let's see where we're at right now. And, oh, there you go. Forney keeps on keeping on. They're up 41-20 in the fourth.
The old double up.
The old double up.
Tyler Legacy kind of getting their way to the end of this season.
Yeah.
Basketball season coming around.
Basketball season is on the horizon, folks.
That's
the good news. Well, Jimmy, it's time for your most favoriteest, most beloved part of the show.
News
break. Brennan Gurley, take it away.
Dan and Jimmy, all across East Texas, emotions are running high as federal funding for SNAP dries up during the government shutdown. To meet an expected growing demand here, the city of Longview, nonprofits, and faith-based communities are launching a community-wide emergency food drive to stock pantries and lift spirits, and you can join them. It's happening next Friday, November 7th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Longview Convention Complex. It's a one-day drive-through donation event collecting non-perishable foods, hygiene items, and baby supplies. If you can't make it in person, you can also donate funds online through the Greater Longview United Way. An East Texas newlywed couple is counting their blessings tonight after surviving Hurricane Melissa. The Longview couple was in Jamaica for their honeymoon when the powerful storm hit. Cassidy and Hunter Bishop arrived in Montego Bay just before evacuation orders went into effect. Their honeymoon quickly turned into a fight for survival as airports shut down and flights were canceled, leaving them stranded. The Bishops say they spent hours huddled together, bracing for impact as the Category 5 hurricane tore through their resort. Hunter says the experience tested their faith and their marriage just 1 week after saying "I do."
It actually hit. It just was immediate. It was just immediate. It just went from pretty calm to just extreme immediately. I mean, glass breaking. It was just very violent right away. And then there was, before you knew it, there was water coming from the ceiling.
Cassie and Hunter are expected to fly back home tomorrow. Reporting from the studio, I'm Brennan Gurley.
Well, thank you so very much, Brennan. Thank you for that Halloween night news.
Yeah, always great.
Gotta have it.
Not scary.
Not too scary.
I didn't jump once.
Not as scary as that second half for Henderson.
Oh, yeah. They'll be thinking about that one for a while. Nightmares. Hey, we'll be back after the break.
Yeah, well, we got your player of the week and a little more, so come on back. Welcome back to Under the Lights. Dan Millay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all. Jimmy, tell me a little something about Gilmer's Protector Ishmael Kamara?
Yeah, you know, normally when we talk about our players of the week, it's for stuff that they do on the field. Big time numbers, big time storylines there. But for Mr. Kamara, it's the stuff that he does off the field.
CBS19 Sports Player of the Week, sponsored by East Texas Professional Credit Union.
When coaches give Ishmael Kamara a play, he understands it as a third language. The French-born offensive lineman came to Gilmer speaking English as his second, and the vocabulary of a football playbook is one he's continuing to grow in. But the job of protecting the person behind you, well, that's one Kamara understands universally.
Because I used to be that kid that needed help.
Kamara came to the United States not as a football prospect, but as a kid who lost his family and found another one in the small town of Gilmer, Texas.
And he's had a lot of change in his life, you know, a lot of loss. Then you come halfway across the world and you're in a place that, you know, doesn't speak your first language, and customs are different, food's different, people are all that, and you've got to establish relationships. That's a lot. That's a lot to digest.
It's an experience Ishmael hopes no kid ever has to go through by themselves. So he started a movement.
Someone found me, and I'm just trying to find like other kids and stuff like to help them, you know, going through life.
He took to social media during his visit to LSU, challenging others to be protectors.
P is for paying attention. You know, when you see a kid, they don't act like a kid, or like they're quiet and stuff. The R is for react. Just when you see a kid that need help, just go help them. The O is for open doors.
It's a message that reached over 100,000 people on social media, sparking hundreds of comments of those relaying his message.
He has the heart. The heart, when you grow up dealing with adversity, you have a heart for others who struggle and have to overcome things. It's exciting to see him finding this path.
And while his path in football is one that comes to an end one day, his road to being a protector is one he plans on heading down for the rest of his life.
You know, as an offensive lineman, you got to protect your running back, quarterback. This is almost the same, mentality.
Jimmy Searfoss, CBS 19. Hey, let's go check out those Gilmer Buckeyes. Senior night over in Spring Hill. Panthers hosting the Buckeyes. Within the first minute of the game, Zay Taylor hands it off to Tavion Horn. No pressure and untouchable. Straight into the end zone. Buckeyes on the board early. Number 6, one of the bright spots, one of the few bright spots last week against Pleasant Grove in that game. Spring Hill, Brody Proctor fakes the handoff, surprises the defense, tossing it deep to Kason Copeland in the end zone. Surprised the cameraman, too, as well. Hey, he falls into the end zone for another score. That's Spring Hill. So we're tied up here early on. Buckeyes answer back. Zayd Taylor just tosses this one to the screen. That's Trace Haynes. Takes it right up the right side of the field with 3 Panthers on his tail. Could not be touched. Panthers, not as fast as a Buckeye. I guess not. Zayd Taylor keeps himself this time. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Plenty of room to run. Look at all those blue shirts chasing him. Making his way into the corner of the end zone. Gilmer 22, Spring Hill 7 after the first quarter. Wow. Looks like Gilmer not going to have to worry about sweating to making the playoffs despite that up and down year. But this game was one that they had to win if they wanted to punch that ticket. 55-28 over Spring Hill.
Yeah, you said an important win there for Gilmer. It's senior night, though, in New Diana, and the Eagles are taking on the ARP Tigers. Opening drive here. New Diana quarterback DeJuan Johnson tosses to Gage Sandlin, who makes a nice catch and a nice run for a first down. Next play, it's Johnson after you get a band shot. We all need a band shot. Johnson goes for the quarterback draw, runs into a pile, and ARP's Zion Washington pulls the ball away, takes off running. The big guy almost finds the end zone, but eventually pulled down around the 7-yard line. Big man was moving, though. Big man was moving. Next play, ARP quarterback Zane Bork takes the snap and runs to his left, crosses into the end zone for the touchdown. They would convert for 2 in the score, or they would hit the field, or they would hit the extra point, my word. 7-0 Tigers. New Diana's next possession. It's deep in their own territory. Johnson sacked by ARP's Kason Burgeons in the end zone, but the ball is placed at the 1-yard line. Tigers get the ball back, and it's the quarterback Bork faking the handoff and then finding a hole in the defense and dashing into the end zone for the touchdown. His celebration, though, gets an unsportsmanlike penalty, but that's pretty soft. That's pretty soft. 14-0 ARP. That's a soft call. Let's see the score.
Let them have fun.
Literally, let the kids play. All right, 54. Unsportsmanlike or not, ARP wins it 54-9 over New Diana.
Those are the first points ARP has given up in like 3 weeks. That's in 2 weeks, sorry, 2 weeks.
Wow.
Those guys have been on a roll since that loss of Troop. We haven't talked about them enough
No.
since that loss of Troop. Also, ARP, you are going to the playoffs with that win. Hey, let's head over to White Oak. They taking on Tatum, the Roughnecks, versus the Eagles. How about that? Tatum is going to start us off here in the third quarter. Grant Adcock keeps the ball right down the right side. Eagles first down and a little bit more. They're moving that ball early. Adcock keeps it again, slides through the middle until he's tripped up, but it's going to be into the end zone. This puts Tatum up, but only by just 1 point. White Oak's Jackson Ludlow looks to a man, finds an open receiver, rolls out, no, didn't want to just rush it, finds Patrick Portley. How about that, just a few plays later? Oh, is that actually an interception? Yep. Oh, how about that? All right. Didn't go his way. Maybe this one is the one where he finds his man, scrambles out a little bit, looks for the deep shot, has one-on-one coverage. There's a man, a little spin move, hit circle. How about that? For right up into the end zone. Jackson Ludlow with some time again later on. Let's see that one. Wow. Tatum squeaking out by 1 point over the Roughnecks, 50-49. I don't think I've ever seen that score in a football game.
No, that's.
How do you get 50 points?
That's scoregami. Can we get the scoregami?
Yeah,
guy
check the
on that?
scoregami chart.
Yeah, all right. Well, another thing we have to check on is the weather this weekend and beyond. Here's Jamie Hansen.
Hey there, East Texas. Let's take a look at these headlines for the week. So tonight and into the morning, we're going to be calm and cool in those low 60s. And then tomorrow, you're going to heat up in those upper 60s and low 70s with a 20% chance of rain in the morning. And then looking ahead, as I said, those rain chances are coming tomorrow morning through the afternoon. 1 p.m. is where we're tracking those. So the next 6 hours for you. So midnight, 52 degrees, 3 a.m., 50, and then 6 a.m., 50. So we are staying in those 50s till morning, a little bit warmer than the past few days. So let's take a look at that future skycast. So 7 a.m. we're pretty clear, other than up near Mount Pleasant you could have a few showers, and then as you can see by 1 p.m. that's when Mineola, Gilmer, Jefferson, we're going to have that rain roll through, as well as deep East Texas, but it should be out the door come 7 p.m. So nothing to worry about for your evening, but make sure you're keeping an eye on that for your afternoon. So as I said, Saturday those rain chances, Sunday you're going to be back to those sunny skies and 60s, and then we're going to have a heat up in those 70s come next week.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Well, folks, we got to hit another break here, but when we return, we got 3 more games for y'all. Plus, we'll be talking big movers after that, so don't go anywhere. Hello, East Texas. Welcome back to the Under the Lights. The Under the Lights. I was going to say the Under the Lights kickoff show. We already did that. It's over and done. This is just Under the Lights. Dan Belay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all. It's week 10, all right? I'm a little, well, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I'm
classy veterans at this point. We've been in it. We know what we're doing.
Veterans at this point. That's a great point. And with that, we got to keep it moving here. We got Marshall at Hallsville. Hallsville band performing their Bobcats Trail. They were performing as their Bobcats Trail in Marshall Mavericks. 20-17 at the start of the second half. Marshall's first possession. Quarterback Alton Henderson rolls out, takes off running, picks up 18 yards, and the first down. There's the band. Later in the drive, Henderson takes the snap and hands off to Denige Montgomery, who shows a nice spin move and picks up another first down. There's the cheerleaders. A few plays later, it is Montgomery again, this time bowling his way across the goal line for the touchdown. The extra point was good. Score at this point, Mavericks 27, Bobcats 17. Marshall's next possession, just like the first, it's quarterback Henderson taking off to his right, then spinning off a Bobcat defender, taking the ball deep into Hallsville territory. Finally brought down. It took a couple guys to bring him down.
There's the band.
There's the band. There they are. A few plays later, you guessed it. Montgomery takes the handoff and bangs some heads at the goal line, falls in for the touchdown. Extra point was no good, so the score is Marshall 33, Hallsville 17.
Let's see the band.
Let's see.
I guess we'll look up final score.
Well, the final score is Marshall. Well, it's not the final score. There's still some time.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, this one's not over.
Oh,
there it is.
All right.
This one's now
Marshall
over.
wins it 47-17 over Hallsville.
Hey, let's go down to Dallas, Shelton, and All Saints. It was a wild one out there. Trojans showed up and showed out.
All right.
How about that? You can almost see them. All Saints Trojans win the coin toss. Crowd cheers with excitement, and looks like they end up just scoring just right then and there. Extra point. Hey, that's it. Low.
That's it.
Makes it in, though. As long as it gets in there, that's a 35-yard kick there. Actually, excuse me, not the extra point, field goal. Gerard runs the ball upfield. There we go. Then the Trojans go up 7-0. Arthur and Powers with the tackle later on, making it 15, or make it the 15. No, 3rd and 15 to the 35-yard line. Goodness gracious, collusion. How about this one? Taken off down the field before getting brought down there. Let's just see this final score at this one. This one was an ugly one and got ugly pretty quickly, 62-0. All Saints, this one.
All Saints.
It was All Saints. That's what I was trying to get.
I got you. All right. A battle of Grace. Grace Prep at Grace. Cougars down 7-14. First down for the Lions here at the 44-yard line. Tackle was made by the Cougars. Quinn Hobson. Later on, it's going to be Bonjour on the carry for Grace Prep. Forced out of bounds. There is a holding penalty against Grace Prep, though. So
look how far that
10
flag
yards from the foul. He made sure everybody saw that into the first quarter. Busy crowd out there to watch this matchup. Not a lot of Halloween costumes. What are we doing, people? From the 8-yard line, Bonjour with the carry. Jurgensen makes the touchdown. The crowd chants with excitement. Grace Prep dominating, and they continue to dominate 55-34 over Grace.
Grace, we talked about them early on. Had some glimpses.
Yeah.
Had some glimpses, but I guess in the battle of the Graces.
Their quarterback's young. Their quarterback is a sophomore, I want to say.
Very young team.
Freshman or sophomore.
Young team in general. That whole offensive line is, I think there's just one kid that's been there for at least 3 years. And I've seen one senior, I think, in that case. And then the whole team is just reloading a lot. They graduated heavy, so rebuilding. And don't look half bad.
Yeah, no, not at all. Lots of potential for growth there. Well, folks, we're going to take one last break. When we return, we'll talk about who could be climbing up on the Fab 15.
one of our favorite segments to do all week long. We've seen the biggest teams play. Let's talk about the ones that are moving the most, that we believe, on that Fab 15 poll that comes out every Monday. We vote on it. And hey,
no biggie.
Dan, who do you think is going to be moving a lot right now?
Well, Jimmy, I'm glad you asked. At this point in the season, obviously, week 10 going into week 11, there's not really going to be a ton of movement. But I want to talk about ARP, because when they lost a troop earlier in the season in that 7-mile rivalry game, they were consistently, I think they were around the top 5 in our Fab 15. They lost that game, they dropped, and they've been dropped ever since. But here in week 10, that is still their only loss of the year. So I think that they deserve a little more love. I don't know, maybe they should fall in the I was almost going to say 6 to 8 range, in the 6 to 8 range.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, let's talk about West Rust, man. For the second straight, actually, forget the second straight week. For multiple weeks in a row, these guys have just been stacking them and looking great the whole time. And it was Shrek that ran out,
yes,
Dan. It was Shrek. I saw it this time. But West Rust, man, it's the same guys on offense that we hear a lot. McCandles, Dotson, and then that defense looked great again tonight. Last time I checked, they just held that Buffalo team to 23 points tonight. That's a way to win a football game, and they're humming right now, especially as we inch towards the end of the season. I wouldn't expect them to move up. I would expect them to move up just a few notches as we make our way towards the end of the season. As things start to get cold out there. These guys are staying hot.
Yeah, well, folks, we're making it towards the end of the season. We're making it towards the end of the show here, so we got to talk future plans. Normally, we'd tell y'all, where our Under the Lights kickoff show will be next week, but we're relying on you, the fans at home, to vote. I'm sure we'll put something out on social media.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how it's going to work.
Let us know where we want to go.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know where you'd like to see us next week. It's week 11. It's do or die. It's go time. So we're looking forward to that. But folks, make sure to come on back for CBS 19 Plus. We got more Under the Lights coming in just a couple minutes. Texas, and welcome into Under the Lights Late Night Edition, Halloween Edition. Dan Millay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all for Week 10. You don't have to give us a second here. We do have to do this 10 times.
8, 9, 10.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Jimmy, Week 9 was great. Every week has been great. Week 10, just as special.
We've had some serious games that's taken place tonight, including our game of the week. Robert De La Garza's out there right now. I think we're going to get off to these highlights
Well, I got your
first.
highlights here first.
Yeah, let's get these highlights first.
It is a win-or-go-home matchup in the District of Doom as the Lions meet the Bulldogs in Week 10. First drive of the game for the Bulldogs. DeMarcion Blaylock in the Wildcat with the direct snap. Cuts outside, moves towards the sidelines, and is wrapped up out of bounds for a first down in Lion territory. That sets up an end around to Blaylock, who has some blockers downfield, cuts inside, met at the goal line, but crosses the plane to put the Dogs up. First quarter, Bulldogs with the ball again. Malik G looking to pass, but it's intercepted by Lamarion Coleman. He's going to turn on the speed and have plenty of space in front of him. And now, if you look closely, he eventually gets wrapped up deep in Bulldog territory. Looked like he was going to go down, but at the last second, he gives it up to Eric Garza, who strolls into the end zone. This was one of 2 defensive touchdowns in the first half. But wait, here come the Bulldogs on a 3rd and short at midfield. Blaylock in the Wildcat again gets the snap, spins out of a tackle, sheds another, and just pushes the pile. That's going to set up a direct snap to Joshua Castaneda for an easy Bulldogs touchdown. Let's see. We saw the fourth quarter. Here's the final score. There you go. Chapel Hill 56-35 over Henderson. Just about locking up a playoff spot, Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Looks like Henderson pulled a few in, towards the end of it. But our Robert De La Garza is out there right now. I think he has himself a player with him. Robert, who you got with you? And tell us what we got to hear.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I got DeMarcion Blaylock here. They were just coach just passed by me and says, "There's them, and then there's him." That's DeMarcion Blaylock. This guy was all over the field this evening. Just talk to me a little bit about. I mean, you guys were down. It looked pretty ugly at first, and then it was just like, "Hey, let's give the ball to our key players, including yourself, Stinson, Castaneda." What was that like? I mean, just walk me through that.
I mean, like, we've been down a lot of games, but some games, like, we just have to come with it. And this is the game that we had to come with it to make it to the playoffs. So we did what we had to do to make it to the playoffs and gave the ball to me.
You said that. I mean, it was win or go home at this point today. You guys knew going into it. This team has been to the playoffs many years since 2019 straight. I mean, did that kind of adversity and then the experience kind of play in the factor today? Hey, you guys never thought you were down, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, like, whenever we was down, I already knew we was going to come back because Coach started giving me the ball and I started making plays and I started helping my team on defense, kickoff return, started helping my team, keeping my team up.
Little man was getting off tonight, boy. Coach G on it.
Yes, sir. So I just had to do it. I had to do the score and make my team proud so we can make it to the playoffs.
I mean, talk about it was an even score at halftime. I couldn't believe that the score was tied. I mean, you guys held the Lions to just, it was 28-28 at half, and you guys didn't let them score up until maybe garbage time here in the fourth quarter. I mean, what was the message at halftime?
I mean, he didn't really say too much. He just told us keep our heads up and never let up. You're never supposed to give up whenever you're down, and you never know what adversity you're facing. So we had to come out and come with it.
I mean, were you shocked about that comeback? I mean, I know it was just the first half. I knew there was a lot of time on the clock, but it looked like things were getting out of hand. But you guys never kind of turned the page.
I was shocked a little bit, but, I had to get out of that and do what I had to do.
All right, senior night, winning, you're in the playoffs now. What's next?
It's time to be 1-0 every week.
All right, DeMarcion Blaylock, I mean, hey, this guy, as they were saying, everyone kept passing by saying he's him, and I saw it tonight. I mean, but what a great game from DeMarcion, from all their key players tonight, as we mentioned. But hey, what a game of the week. Jimmy, Dan.
For sure, Robert, thank you so much. Jimmy, was DeMarcion our first player of the week
No,
this
but
season?
he was one. He was one of the
Yeah.
first players of the week because this kid's been off. I mean, you saw the way he was moving on the football field tonight. Just
D1 DeMarcion.
D1 DeMarcion, man. They were just like, hey, let's just give him the ball. Forget throwing it.
Yeah,
Let's
what
just
are we
give him
doing?
the ball in the Wildcat and let him make some moves. Also, another important part of Chapel Hill here, that was their last game of the season. They have that 11th week bye.
Okay, yep,
so they kind of have an extra time to prep, heal up, figure out how they want to attack the playoffs later on. So Chapel Hill is in a good spot right now.
Yeah.
So they'll have a good path in the playoffs.
Trying to go 1-0 every week, like you said.
Exactly. How about another team looking to get into the playoffs and lock up a spot? Longview. They were taking on North Forney. Falcons making a statement early on. This is running back Cahorde Woodward, and he just finds a hole. Look at all of that open field ahead of him. There's not a single man that's not in the field of play in front of him. He's going to take it all the way almost 100 yards. Roughly halfway through the first quarter, though, Lobos kicking on the door. They kick it in. They give it to Kylon Cummings, plows his way into the end zone. They're all tied up. It wouldn't stay that way for long. Forney quarterback Bay takes a shot. Hooks up with Elijah Otieno. That's a 32-yard strike. Falcons up by a score. Lobos getting a little sloppy here on the punt. It goes over the punter's head. Falcons set up with great field position to extend that lead. Just can't have that happen. Falcons would capitalize on the mistake. Bay, direct snap, end zone. He pilots it in from 8 yards out. Falcons with the first lead, going into the quarter, with the quarter winding down. It looks like that was the first play that would happen. The 49-56. Looks like Longview is trying to hold on there at the end of that ball game. It looks like that one's still going on up in North Forney.
There's always a chance. So
Always a chance, And Longview has had a gauntlet of a season. North Forney's a very good football team. Last time I checked, I think Dave Campbell's had them at 22nd in the state.
Top 25 in the state.
Top 25 in the state.
Yeah.
And that's just every single one of Longview's opponents at some point has been in the top 25. So no easy weeks. And I'm not saying this would knock them out of playoffs, but it's going to make that road a little tougher.
For sure. All right, we're going to Winona now, where the Wildcats hosted the Elkhart Elks on this chilly and chilling Halloween night. We're starting this one in the third quarter. Here's Coit Cooper with the handoff to Dalton Walker. He sees the end zone, thinks he can haunt it, but just falls 1 yard short. But don't worry, Coit and Dalton, that dynamic duo of doom, link up one more time. Dalton makes it look easy. Touchdown. Elks line up for the extra point. But wait, trick or treat. They pull a little trick, and that's good for 2. Dalton trying to escape the haunting Wildcats. Where he's still trying to escape.
I don't think this was a planned trick.
Trick might have been on them. Wildcats now ball launched downfield, but it's picked off by Javon Smith. He read that play like a scary story. Very good. Very good, Jesus. Elks take back over. Coit throws down deep to Kalen Franklin. He hugs the sideline like he's running from ghosts. Hewitt's chasing, but not fast enough. Touchdown, Elks. Wildcats trying to claw their way back. Easton Smotherman hands off to Jesse Barton. He breaks a tackle and poof, he's gone. Like what, Jimmy?
A ghost!
A ghost. Touchdown, Wildcats. And they're not done yet. Same spell, different drive. Jesse Barton breaks another tackle for another touchdown. Winona will go for 2 here, and who else? Jesse Barton again. He haunts the end zone. He's living in that end zone like it's a haunted, spooky house end zone. I'm gonna stop
and
right there.
ghosts live in those.
That's right. Yep. Elkhart wins 39-21 over
that one's still
Winona.
going.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Still going.
There's still some time.
Dan,
Fourth quarter out there.
I am so fired up for this next game. This one
too.
determines the district. Gladewater versus Atlanta. This one is huge. Gladewater quarterback Achilles Hess tosses this one to Maddox Vasquez. Huge gain there. Look at that catch. What a catch. He gets a step over Allen Iverson, except still going the Gladewater direction. This one's going to Carson Cooper. Moves the ball closer to the end zone. He's one of their biggest backs, one of those biggest weapons on that offense. A couple plays later, Jemiah Flanagan takes it into the end zone. Gladewater Bears get on the board for the first time, 6-0 Gladewater. Early in the second quarter, though, Gladewater pushes the ball across the goal line again. 13-0 Gladewater against one of the best defenses in that division.
Come on, Gladewater.
Wow, Gladewater turning it all the way around. 1 year. It took Jermaine Lewis 1 year to get there. That team went 5-5 and missed the playoffs last year, Dan. How about that? 34-18. They're going to be district champs probably.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you said it. Just Jermaine Lewis's first year there, obviously. I visited them in practice earlier this season. Loved what he was preaching. The kids were soaking it all in. They loved everything that he was about. And like you said, to turn it around in 1 year like they have, just really impressive. Really awesome for Gladewater.
And another part of that? That game was in Atlanta.
Yep.
That's like a 2-hour drive.
That's a good point.
That's
a
not
really good
close,
point. Yeah.
man. Well, wow. What a win. Congratulations to the Gladewater Bears. Looks like they're going to be moving in the right direction this coming fall.
Yes, sir. Well, excited to see what they do in the playoffs. But for now, we got more games coming up after this next break, so don't go anywhere. To Under the Lights Late Night Edition. Dan Belay and Jimmy Searfoss with y'all. Jimmy, we were just in the newsroom checking on that Longview score. It's exciting out there in North
Big
Warren.
time game there, but Longview scored just now, just a few minutes ago, missed the extra point. So it's 55-56 right now. North Forney leads, still a little bit of time left, but that's a heartbreaker.
That's devastating.
That's devastating. Hey, it looks like we're not done here, though. We still got a lot of highlights to get to. Come on now, let's go. Elysian Field, Wascom. Tell us the good one, Dan.
For sure. First quarter here, and they take the field with the American flag, the Texas flag, lots of other flags going on there. Yeah, some spooky, hazy ambiance going on. Chris Hernandez with the chunk play here to number 2. Not listed on the roster, but he finds the end zone.
Possible ghost?
Possible ghost. Could be a ghost. We can't confirm either way. Can't confirm or deny, but it's 6-0. Fans in banana costumes. Hernandez with the handoff here to Bubba Jones. That's a great Texas name for the Wildcat. Touchdown, 14-0 as we head into the second quarter. That's not a real beard. Elysian Field's Brandon Kennedy passes to Evan White here. All the way. This is a bomb into the end zone. And that, wow, how about that?
Heaves it.
From the Jackets. Later on, 3rd and goal for Wascom. Oh, the Ninja Turtle, not a fan.
He
Leonardo,
did not approve.
Not a fan. 3rd and goal, Wascom, 16 seconds on the clock in the second quarter. Pushing for that touchdown. They've got it. It's 20-7 going into the half. So Elysian Fields, all right. Wow. Elysian Fields, just their second loss of the year there. They fall to Wascom 34-21.
This is one of those games that I really was interested in because I really wanted to see if Elysian Fields was legit enough to beat Wascom. Looks like it kept it a little close, but hey, Wascom pulls this one out. Speaking of Texas High, let's talk about them. They have this district in hand. This one, not meaningless, but come on, they're playing a team that's at the bottom of the district. Tigers get the ball quickly, try to Tradarian Ball, excuse me. Little sweep action there, doesn't need much. He gets his way into the end zone. Yeah, he's going to Oregon. Next Tiger possession, midfield, Cameron Ryder rolls out, and he looks like he's playing in slow motion right now. He calls his own number. He's going to head up and pick up a few yards that are past the chains for more than a first down. And they're going to cash it in. Ryder again rolling out, finding his way into the end zone. 14-0 in a hurry. Let's jump to the second. 21-0. And it's kind of the same story. Javonte Montgomery is going to take this one all the way in. Yeah, this one got out of hand quickly.
QB was slinging that thing.
56-0 down at the Tomato Bowl.
As Joe Girardi used to say, it's not what you want. It's if you're Jacksonville, that is. If you're Texas High, that's great. That's wonderful. All right, we got some Thursday night highlights here. This is Coach Roy Stadium, Overton hosting Mount Enterprise, up 7-0 midway through the first. Looking to build on the lead. Ryan Holloman hits Jacob Osborne. The junior slips a tackle, then makes his way down the sideline before eventually getting dragged out around the 10. In the red zone, Holloman calls his own number, evades a pair of tackles, and then finds the end zone to put the Mustangs up 14-0 over the undefeated Wildcats. Okay, but Mount Enterprise responds right away, and it's who else but Kagan Ash, the Texas Tech commit, bursts through the middle and then turns on the Jets. Plenty of real green Overton grass ahead of him as he pulls in for 6 to get the Wildcats on the board. They're going to go for 2. Quarterback Joshua Bennett takes it himself to get Mount Enterprise right back in this game. 14-8 Overton. Now later on, Wildcats facing a 4th down in Mustangs territory. You already know who's getting the rock. Ash takes the direct snap towards the sideline, loses a few defenders, finds pay dirt. It's 14-14 after Mount Enterprise cannot convert for 2. But let's check out that final score. Mount Enterprise 60-42. They remain undefeated. The Wildcats are 9-0 as we enter the final week of the regular season.
You know, it's the green teams, Oregon and Tatum, not necessarily having the best records in the world, but they're tough outs, man. They're tough outs in any week. All right, let's go to our last game, our best game, the 6-man game in the heart of East Texas, Hallsville. East Texas Homeschool Chargers taking on Kings Academy. Kings are going to grab the ball first. This one's going to get pitched out here. It's different rules, by the way. Jaden Pace, active all night long, gets swallowed up, but in the end zone, that one's going to go for a touchdown. Next kickoff, how about this? Jacob Pierce grabs it and just takes off all 80 yards. It's an 80-yard field. A little bit different sizing here. That one's going into the end zone. Have to build off of that was the Kings' actually first score of the night. A little later on, here's Cole Dawson hauling this one in. Nobody in front of the young man as he goes directly into the end zone. He was super fired up about it. Later on, Chargers driving. This one close to the end zone. Picked off. Caden Adcock with the interception and the return. I'll tell you what, though, that was pretty much all the highlights from the Kings Academy side. This one was all Chargers, 61-14 after that. How about that for the East Texas homeschool team? I believe that's their 7th win this year. I think they're 7-1. They're 7-1, 7-2. One of those two. I know they're up there. They've had a good year.
They have 7 wins, regardless.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, folks, don't go anywhere. Our show has almost concluded, but we're not going to let y'all leave until we show you the top plays from Week 10. Stick around. Hey, everybody, it's time for Top Plays. Jimmy, Week 10 was exciting. We got to see if these top plays were exciting. They always are. I don't even know what I'm saying.
I hope that one from Henderson is out there. That was a real interesting one.
Yeah, a lot of good plays tonight. We're going to start in Lindale. Second quarter now. Here's the first big trick of the night. Hank Thurman to the end zone, takes it in for the Eagles touchdown.
Hey, how about this one? Bonjour from the 8-yard line. You know, bonjour means hello. This guy said
I didn't know you were bilingual.
Yeah, you know, actually, no, it's Jurgensen. Sorry, making the touchdown. Yeah, I don't know. Something happened on that game.
It was a top, whatever happened, it was a top play for sure.
Yeah, there he goes.
All right, up next we got All Saints. Sherrard runs the ball, finds himself in the end zone for another touchdown as the Trojans win big here in Week 10.
Oh, yeah. Hey, did someone say weight room? Buffalo quarterback Cole Davis proving he's got the juice, man. Look at him carrying every single blue helmet he can. Who can bring him down?
Goodness.
Nobody. Look at that kid. I bet he squats 1.5 million pounds. Let's go to the next one.
All right, certainly. First quarter, Bulldogs, Chapel Hill with the ball. Malik G looks to pass, but it's intercepted by Lamarion Coleman. Jimmy, I think this is the play you're talking about. He turns the speed on. Plenty of space in front of him, but look closely, if you will. He gets wrapped up deep in Bulldog territory. Looks like he's going to go down, but at the last second gives it up to Eric Garza, who strolls into the end zone. A tremendous play, however. Henderson falls in that one.
Hey, let's go back to the Elks. Coit throws this one to Callan Franklin, and he's down the sideline running, and oh my goodness, I wouldn't want to tackle this kid either. Look at him chugging his way into the end zone.
So spooky.
Boom.
So spooky and ghostly.
Yeah, you know, I'd see him run into my nightmare.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, folks, lots of games to check in on. We shot lots of games. We showed y'all lots of highlights. Let's look back at lots of scores now. Here we go. All right, big graphic. Carthage all over Rusk, 56-3. Our game of the week, Chapel Hill over Henderson, 56-35. Forney downs Tyler Legacy, 48-27. There's that All Saints Trojans score 62-zip over Dallas Sheldon. That'll play. Grace Prep beats Grace in the Battle of the Graces, 55-34. Marshall takes down Hallsville, 47-17. ARP over New Diana, 54-9. Look for them to possibly move on our Feb 15 next week. And then Gilmer, big win, a much-needed win over Spring Hill, 55-28.
My turn. Let's check this out. Tatum barely squeaks by
score.
White Oak. How about that? 50-49. Pine Tree drops one to Lindale by one score as well. Buffalo loses to West Rusk. Looks like they pulled in a little bit closer. Longview 55. North Forney 56. You want to talk about something that's going to haunt that team? There's a score for you. Elysian Fields 21. Wascom 34. Pittsburgh loses a huge one to Pleasant Grove. Pittsburgh, I do believe, though, still should be in position to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They just won't be in first place. Gladewater 34, Atlanta 18. Congrats on winning the district.
Yeah.
Texas High 56, Jacksonville 0.
Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us along this journey. Week 10, under the lights. Make sure to tune in for Week 11 and make sure to vote on where you want us to be next week for our kickoff show site game at 6:30. But wherever we end up, we know that y'all will have a good time. We'll have a good time for sure. But
football.
It's football season, folks. It's almost playoff season.
Ooh, we're almost there.
Almost there. And see y'all next week.